In November of 1943, the United States Navy lost 3 destroyers in a single night in the North Atlantic: the USS Harmon, the USS Callaway and the USS Callaway, and the USS Brent. 261 men across 3 ships. They left their convoy escort position at 2200 hours on November 14th, for reasons that were never fully explained in the official record, and they did not come back. No distress signals, no emergency beacons, no wreckage, no bodies, no oil slick, no trace of any kind on the surface of the North Atlantic. The Navy listed them as lost to enemy action, enemy submarines, mines, the fog of war, the kind of explanation that explained nothing but gave the families something to put in the space where answers should have been. Dr. Sarah Voss knew the official explanation was incomplete before she ever found the ships. She had been working the North Atlantic floor for 11 years, deep water survey work for a marine archaeology consortium, mapping wrecks and geological features, and the accumulated debris of a century of maritime traffic. She had found 15 wrecks in 11 years. She knew what a wreck looked like on sonar. She knew what a ship looked like when it went down in bad weather, or enemy action, or structural failure. She knew the signatures, the scatter patterns, the way metal settles on the ocean floor when it has fallen from the surface in pieces or in one broken hole. She knew what a wreck was supposed to look like. What she found on October 7th at 3,200 feet in the North Atlantic was not a wreck. The sonar image came up on her screen at 0340 hours, and she sat forward in her chair and looked at it for a long time without saying anything. 3 returns. Large. Distinct. Sitting on the ocean floor in a formation that was not random and was not the result of anything she had a geological explanation for. Side by side. Evenly spaced. The kind of formation ships hold when they are underway together in open water, on the bottom of the ocean. At 3,200 feet, she called her survey coordinator, a man named Aldous, who had been doing this work longer than she had and who had the careful skepticism of someone who had seen a lot of things that turned out to have ordinary explanations. Aldous looked at the sonar image. He did not say anything for a long time either. Then he said, very carefully, "Those are not geological features." "No," Sarah said. "They are not." "They look like ships," Aldous said. "They look like 3 ships," Sarah said, sitting in formation on the ocean floor at 3,200 feet. Aldous zoomed the sonar image. The returns resolved into clearer shapes. Long, narrow, the distinctive profile of mid-century naval vessels. Gun placements visible on the sonar return. Bridge structures, propeller shafts. The specific silhouette of Gleaves-class destroyers, a design Sarah recognized from 11 years of finding things on the ocean floor that other people had lost. She pulled up the naval loss records for the North Atlantic, 1940 to 1945, cross-referenced with the coordinates, narrowed the search by vessel class and date range. 3 names came back: USS Harmon, USS Callaway, USS Brent, missing November 14, 1943, last known position within 40 miles of the current Sonar Contact. All 3 Gleaves-class destroyers, all 3 listed as lost to enemy action. All 3 with no wreckage ever recovered. Sarah looked at the sonar image. She looked at the 3 ships sitting in formation at 3,200 feet, as if they had steamed down there together and parked and were waiting for orders to come back up. She looked at the secondary returns on the sonar. The small, irregular contacts inside all 3 hulls that she had noticed when the image first came up and had been trying not to think about since. Moving contacts. All 3 ships. Inside the pressure hulls. Moving in patterns that were not random and were not fish and were not anything Aldous could explain when she pointed them out and asked him to explain them out, and asked him to explain them. "What is moving inside those ships?" she said. Aldous looked at the sonar for a long time. "I do not know," he said. Sarah looked at the image, at 3 ships that had been on the bottom of the ocean for 81 years and were sitting there intact and upright in formation as if the war had never ended for them. As if the war had never finished. 1943 had never finished. As if 261 men had gone down to 3,200 feet on a Tuesday night in the middle of the North Atlantic and simply continued doing what sailors do: standing watch, running the engines, moving through the passageways of their ships in the permanent dark of the deep Atlantic, still on duty, still waiting for orders that were 81 years overdue. She looked at Aldous. "We need to go down," she said. Aldous looked at the moving contacts inside the 3 hulls. He looked at them for a long time. "Yes," he said quietly. "I think we do." Chapter 1 ends here. Chapter 2 coming Wednesday. Subscribe to The Drifting Dark. 3 ships on the bottom. Something is still moving inside all of them.